All right, so it looks like the rumors are true. Yes, it is official. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time at twitch.tv/Bethesda or YouTube Live, we will be seeing a reveal related to, guess what? Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So this is going to be huge, and I'm assuming that we are going to be seeing our first look at Elder Scrolls Remake/Remaster. I cannot wait to see this. Now, we have even more details today about what to expect from this remake in terms of gameplay, because it's going to be a lot more than just a graphical update, apparently, like significantly more. So I think that this one's going to be very, very big. Cross my fingers that it all pans out to be amazing. We'll have to wait and see, but let's get into this. So yes, the file size is apparently going to be very, very large, according to leaks, by the way. This is not official, so leaker, XOX Leak, took to Twitter on April 20th to claim that the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster will take a whopping 120 gigabytes of space on your hard drive. Now, a follow-up tweet did show a screenshot of Datamine's Steam listing, showcasing that 120 gigabyte size. We don't know the console size, but it's going to probably be roughly the same. Now, it did go on to say that this would include the DLC on top of the original game. So that would be, of course, the Game of Year edition, which came with Knights of the Nine and Shivering Isles expansion, which did originally set at 4.6 gigabyte. Now, they did say that the newer version is more than 26 times larger than the original if this leak pans out to be true, which is saying something. A lot of you guys are wondering, well, when would Oblivion Remastered actually release? It was supposed to be out today, according to leaks and rumors, on the 21st. I didn't think that would happen because it's a Monday. Most games do not release on a Monday. However, a lot of games do release on either a Tuesday or Thursday, so the likelihood of us seeing it release on the 22nd or the 24th is very high. You know, during the middle of the stream, they could surprise us and just shadow drop it, or just release it out in the wild and say, hey, you know what? Right now, go play it after the stream. That could be the case. Or they could want the announcement to kind of like simmer and spread throughout the community and have it release on the 24th. That could be the case. Or we could be seeing a totally different release date. We're going to have to wait for an official word from Bethesda during that stream. Now, we have also more details as to what to expect beyond file size, graphics, and that sort of thing. But we are going to get into perhaps what we could potentially be seeing from the engine. So let's get into this right here. So will Oblivion Remastered have improved gameplay? And again, this is according to leaks. Previous leaks have suggested that Oblivion Remastered isn't just a graphical overhaul, it's expected to feature some gameplay tweaks as well. However, we don't know yet how deep these adjustments go. One specific leak said that combat in particular has been given an overhaul with new stealth, archery, and block mechanics, giving the action a more modern feel. Animations have apparently been redone as well, which would impact combat and general gameplay quite dramatically. It's also worth remembering that the original Oblivion is almost 20 years old, and parts of the game haven't aged well from a gameplay perspective. Combat can be chaotic and clunky by today's standards, and character progression systems have long divided opinions. For Oblivion to resonate with a new audience, we do think it does need a gameplay rework. So fingers crossed, that's what we're getting. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I do hope that they have really fully fleshed out the gameplay to kind of update it, but at the same time, I really, really hope that they do keep that nostalgic feel, you know, the detail of what an Oblivion or, you know, old school Elder Scrolls RPG should feel like. I don't want it to be watered down, you know what I mean? That's one of the concern when you hear that they've modernized a game. So hopefully that is not the case. If it does feel like Skyrim, hell yes, I'm definitely there for that, because I still love and adore Skyrim's gameplay even to this day. Now, we also have this one right here. What game engine does Oblivion Remastered use? So leaks say that Oblivion Remastered does not use Bethesda's own creation engine, pretty much obsessed with their own engine. And I think it goes without saying, considering that they even, you know, made Starfield on the creation engine, which a lot of people were like, hey, why would they not just do Starfield on Unreal Engine 5? But yeah, some people even say Unreal Engine 5 is a crap engine, you know, so we'll see how this one pans out. But I do think that it would be a huge upgrade seeing Oblivion on Unreal Engine 5. There's no doubt about that. Now, we also have this right here. Who's the Oblivion Remastered developer? That's a great question. So by all accounts, Oblivion Remastered has been developed by a third-party company called Virtuos. Now, Virtuos is made up of numerous studios across the world, and over the years has worked on countless titles. Now, generally speaking, Virtuos is what is called a support studio, an outside workforce that helps big budget games in conjunction with other primary developers. Now, however, Virtuos has also numerous remasters and remakes under its belt, as well as expansion DLCs and updates. For example, it's behind the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake, which is looking really, really sharp, and just recently crafted a hefty update for Cyberpunk 2077. So, yeah, despite it having like this, history with remakes and being a support studio, it has a very good history so far. So, crossing our fingers that trend continues here into this Oblivion remake, and that this pans out once again to be absolutely amazing. And there are also some other leaks that we do need to talk about around this Oblivion remake. Check it out right here. So in January 2025, gaming publication MP First published an article that they claim was information handed to them from a user they confirmed to be a Virtuos employee. Potentially information mistakenly posted to LinkedIn, but no proof was ever rendered. Quoted below is what they had to say. So let's get into this. So a description of the project provided on the site confirms that yes, the title is being developed using Unreal Engine 5. So we already know that. We're going to get into the new stuff here. Hinting at significant changes in this reimagining compared to the original game. Brief descriptions of 6 gameplay systems that will be reworked are also provided. So stamina, sneak, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and HUD apparently have all been touched up and reworked. So for the blocking system, this is where it gets interesting. Ideas to improve it were taken from Souls-like and ACT games. We're not sure which games this refers to, but our guess is the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. As pointed out by many, ACT is short for action game. As the original system was considered too boring and frustrating, the sneak icons are now highlighted in the improved sneak system, and the damage calculation methods were reworked. Now, the stamina system was modified to be less frustrating for the player, making the knockdown that occurs when stamina is depleted more difficult to activate through changes in calculation methods. Now, the HUD was changed apparently to make it easier to understand and more aesthetically appealing to young players. Hit reactions were also added to improve the response to damage inflicted on the player and NPCs. Finally, archery was improved to make it more playable and modern in both third and first person viewpoints. So that's actually really cool. If that pans out to be true, that would be really, really cool if they can improve that third person combat. But yeah, you got to question that leak because there's no like definitive source. It's like pretty much anonymous, which is super convenient. However, if we can get some really cool third person gameplay in there, improvements to archery and the core systems, that'd be very cool. On the flip side of this, I do hope that they have an option where you can toggle like the vanilla gameplay version of Oblivion. I would actually love that if you can go into this Oblivion remake and just play it like it was originally created 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Just for nostalgia purposes. I think that would be very, very cool if they added in something like that. Then again, they could have many different types of gameplay defaults that you could select. I know a lot of you guys still love Skyrim, and again, I would love to be able to just have like some sort of selection where, hey, this plays very similar to Skyrim. That's what I would personally be down for, but we'll see what happens between the leaks and what is going to be actually announced tomorrow. Now, we also did have some screenshots. If you did miss it, check these beautiful leaked Oblivion screenshots out. And this definitely does not look like, to me, just by looking at it, the creation engine. I am looking at these and thinking, this is looking perhaps like an Unreal Engine 5 game. This one looks badass. But let me know how you guys are feeling about the potential of this being on Unreal Engine 5. Then we have these beautiful screenshots right here. If this pans out to be true, I'm going to be on cloud 9 because this looks absolutely gorgeous. And I've been playing the original Oblivion on my PC at ultra graphics, but even still, it definitely has a lot to be desired. And this is showcasing something that I think will absolutely resonate with core Bethesda fans. That's something that Bethesda is missing right now. They need to revive the nostalgia big time and get back on track, at least in my opinion, since Starfield. And a lot of people were kind of bummed about Starfield, and I would love to see them go back to what they used to do. And, we need a win here before Elder Scrolls 6. A lot of people are apprehensive about Elder Scrolls 6 because of Starfield. And for them to release something that would be in the win column with Oblivion Remake that would get people excited, I think, for Elder Scrolls 6. They would go, maybe Bethesda could get back on track here. You know, I think that would be a very, very important message to send out to their core audience. But there it is, guys. The latest happenings around Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake. I am super hyped over here for this one. Stay tuned here for more news and updates on the Oblivion Remake / remaster. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.